The Ogaden Basin is a vast and arid expanse of land. It stretches across southeastern Ethiopia, covering an area of roughly 350,000 square kilometers. This region is part of Ethiopia's Somali regional state, a place known for its pastoralist communities and harsh, dry climate. For centuries, this land has been defined by its nomadic traditions and its often remote relationship with the central government in Addis Ababa. The landscape is a mix of scrubland, rocky outcrops, sandy plains. It is a challenging environment, where life has long been a struggle against the elements, and resources like water are precious beyond measure. For most of its history, the true wealth of the Ogaden was not visible on the surface. This remote corner of the Horn of Africa sits in a strategic yet volatile location. It borders Somalia, Djibouti, Kenya, placing it at a crossroads of regional politics and trade. The discovery of natural gas in the Ogaden Basin is more than just a lucky find. For Ethiopia, it represents a monumental opportunity. The country has one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, but it has a significant problem. It relies heavily on imported fuel, spending billions every year on petroleum products. This drains the country's limited foreign currency reserves. Those reserves are needed for critical imports like medicine, machinery, food. Developing a domestic energy source could change this equation. Ethiopia could power its industries, fuel its vehicles, light its homes with its own resources, achieve a new level of energy independence. It's not just saving money on imports. It's creating a transformative new revenue stream. The plan? Use gas at home and export it to the world. Natural gas is in demand globally. The heart of the Ogaden gas discovery lies in several key fields. The most significant of these are Calub and Hilala. Calub, Hilala. These two were the first identified and the most studied over the years. They're close together. Joint development makes sense. Calub is the crown jewel of the project. It holds the largest, most commercially viable gas reserves in the basin so far. Hilala sits north of Calub and has a higher concentration of liquid condensates. Calub was first discovered in the 1970s. Explorers found a big, high-quality natural gas reservoir. The gas is rich. It contains other hydrocarbons besides methane, propane, butane. Those can be processed into LPG for cooking and heating. Developing Calub could supply cleaner, sustainable cooking fuel to millions. When we talk about the amount of gas in the Ogaden Basin, the numbers are staggering. The most conservative and widely cited estimates place the recoverable natural gas reserves at over 4 trillion cubic feet. Graphic. Compare Ethiopia's 4 TCF to other small or mid-sized gas-producing nations. 1 trillion cubic feet of gas can supply the energy needs of millions of homes for many years. 4 trillion cubic feet can satisfy Ethiopia's domestic needs and support a large-scale export operation for decades. This is not a small, fleeting discovery, and it's a world-class energy deposit. Official estimates confirmed by PolyGCL show Calub holds around 2.7 trillion cubic feet. Hilala contributes about 1.3 trillion cubic feet. These are proven reserves engineers are confident can be extracted with current technology. Further exploration in El Quran, Dohar, and unexplored parts of the basin could double or triple current estimates. The fields contain valuable liquids. At least 13.6 million barrels of condensates are estimated, mainly in Hilala. Condensates are light, high-quality crude that can be refined into gasoline and other fuels. At market prices, 4 TCF plus condensates could be worth tens of billions of dollars. A colossal windfall for Ethiopia. Well, you know, the story of the Ogaden gas fields did not begin recently. The first serious exploration efforts date back to the Cold War era. Timeline: Tenneco, 1973, to PolyGCL, 2013. Soviet experts were invited to explore the basin. A Soviet-backed company, Tenneco, made the landmark discovery of Calub in 1973. They drilled several wells. They confirmed the presence of a massive gas reservoir. But the discovery could not be developed because of political instability, conflict in the region, lack of funding and technology. The gas was left in the ground, a known secret. After the fall of the Derg, American companies entered in the 1990s. Maxis Energy conducted further studies. Maxis discovered the Hilala field. Once again, the project stalled. The security situation remained volatile. The game changed in the 21st century. China's economy boomed. China's hunger for energy grew. In 2013, PolyGCL signed a landmark agreement with Ethiopia. Extracting gas from the ground is only half the battle. The real challenge is getting it to customers who will pay for it. The Ogaden Basin is landlocked, hundreds of kilometers from the nearest sea. The centerpiece is the Ethiopia-Djibouti gas pipeline. The project will build a pipeline approximately 767 kilometers long. It will run from the gas fields in the Ogaden, across the Ethiopian highlands, to the coast of Djibouti on the Red Sea. Once the gas reaches Djibouti, at a terminal in Damerjog, the gas will be supercooled to minus 162 degrees Celsius. Liquefaction turns the gas into a liquid and shrinks its volume by 600 times. LNG can then be loaded onto specialized tanker ships. Ships will carry the gas to markets in Asia and to markets in Europe. The first phase LNG plant is planned to produce up to 3 million tons per year. Construction is a massive undertaking costing billions. PolyGCL, the Chinese developer, is leading financing and construction of the pipeline and the LNG plant. Djibouti sits on one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, the ideal gateway. That creates shared interest in the project's security and success. The most immediate impact will come from export revenues, selling millions of tons of LNG on the international market. That could mean billions in hard currency every year. This is a game changer for a country with chronic foreign exchange shortages. Stabilize the national currency, the birr. Pay down foreign debt. Build up the country's financial reserves. The project will also be a major engine for job creation. Build gas processing facilities. Build the LNG plant. Workers needed, engineers, technicians, welders, drivers. Once operational, a permanent workforce will be needed to run and maintain the facilities. Cheap domestic gas can spur the growth of new industries, fertilizer factories, cement plants, steel mills. Beyond jobs and money, the project will trigger significant infrastructure development. Becoming a reliable energy exporter strengthens Ethiopia's role in the Horn of Africa and deepens strategic ties with partners. Despite the immense promise, the path to monetizing Ogaden's gas is filled with serious challenges. The most significant and persistent obstacle has been security. The Somali region of Ethiopia has a long history of instability. It has been home to armed separatist groups. For years, groups like the Ogaden National Liberation Front, or ONLF, fought for greater autonomy or independence. They sometimes targeted foreign oil and gas operations. A tragic attack on a Chinese-run exploration site in 2007, which killed dozens, highlighted the severe security risks. While a peace agreement was signed with the ONLF in 2018, ensuring long-term stability and protecting a 767-kilometer pipeline remains a major security challenge. Financing a project of this magnitude is another monumental hurdle. The total cost for developing the fields, building the pipeline, and constructing the LNG plant is estimated to be in the billions of dollars. While the Chinese company PolyGCL has committed to the investment, securing the full financing package can be difficult. The project has already faced several delays. Initial timelines projected gas exports as early as 2020. As of 2025, construction is still in early phases. Building across hundreds of kilometers of remote terrain requires careful planning, precise execution, and a massive supply chain. The LNG plant in Djibouti is highly complex and requires specialized expertise. Delays in one part can cascade across the entire timeline, pushing back revenues. It is crucial the project is developed responsibly, with protections for the environment and fair compensation for local communities. The Ogaden gas project stands at a pivotal moment in Ethiopia's history. It represents the country's single greatest opportunity to fundamentally transform its economy and secure its energy future. Over 4 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and millions of barrels of condensates are a national treasure of immense value. A nation long dependent on agricultural output and on foreign aid now has a new path. Industrialization, self-sufficiency, economic prosperity. The potential to earn billions in export revenue cannot be overstated. It could fuel a generation of growth and development. This project is far more than an economic venture. It is a strategic imperative. Successfully bringing the gas to market will elevate Ethiopia's status and forge a powerful economic alliance with Djibouti. Powering domestic industries with local gas will make Ethiopia's economy more resilient and competitive, attracting further investment. However, regional security challenges, financing and construction complexities, and environmental and social impacts must be managed. Success will require unwavering political will, steadfast commitment from partners like PolyGCL, and equitable, careful management. Ultimately, the story of Ogaden Gas is a story of potential. The decisions made today, on October 6, 2025, regarding management, development, and revenue sharing will echo for decades. If handled with wisdom, transparency, and a long-term vision, the gas beneath the Ogaden could truly change Ethiopia forever, turning a hidden treasure into a lasting legacy of national progress.